All right, so here's my span panel. As you can see, it's sort of at its very basic, just a regular panel. It's got your breakers in here. It does have a nice LED light that lights up so you can see what's going on. And at its heart, it's just a main panel, right? So you've got your main disconnect, and then you have your breakers in here. But what's happening is it also is the brains of the entire operation. So the span panel, let's say the grid goes out, we're without power, it's going to automatically shed some of my heavier loads. So my water heater, for example, that will turn off automatically, as will a few other heavier loads, such as my dryer, my oven, and that all happens automatically. It'll then switch the batteries to nice to have mode. And those are the things like my air conditioner, where it's nice to have them. The power's out for a few hours, right? I can run my AC, nothing, no real change in my lifestyle. Once my batteries get to below 50%, it's going to shut those nice to have loads off. And it's just going to go to the critical loads. So those are my fridge, my freezer, my security system, some lights, and my internet. And those are going to remain backed up. Obviously, the loads are much smaller, and so the batteries will last right through the night. The idea being is the span is managing all these loads in real time so that I don't have to come out here and start flipping breakers myself, right? The worst thing that can happen is you lose power when you're not home. Perhaps you're on vacation. All your heavy loads kick in, and it drains your batteries to a point where they can no longer recharge, because that does happen. If you use too much power and you drain your batteries too much, they may not come back on. And so span manages all those loads automatically. So you don't actually have to be a rocket scientist to figure out, hey, what do I need to leave on? What do I need to turn off? Because the span's doing that for you. And it's then giving you more battery overall, right? It's going to maintain those batteries for longer, with the idea being that it will carry you through the night. The sun comes back on. The sun comes back on. It doesn't come back on. It just rises. Well, the sun rises, solar kicks back in, recharges your batteries, and then you get to a state where your heavier loads could come back on. You're going to get a longer battery life, and again, you don't need to be managing that manually. So much simpler, and it's especially good for snowbirds, people who travel a lot, because the last thing you want is to be worried about what you have running while you're away on vacation